Tonight, we're going to watch 13 local writers compete to perform their worst original poem, and boy, we have some real talent here tonight. You're going to love this. Let's take a moment to introduce our judges. Our first judge originally hails from Wisconsin, but has been a Rockford staple for as long as I can remember. Please give a warm welcome to Rockford singer-songwriter, lead singer of the Pimps, Stuart Johnson. Some of you may recognize our next judge as the host of the Friday daytime WNIJ NPR show, Poetically Yours. Let's give a big round of applause for Yvonne Boose. Our last judge of the evening is a lecturer in English and the Rockford Poet Laureate. Let's give it up for Jenna Goldsmith.
This poem is called, confusingly enough, let me move this down a moment, sorry. L109 V8E9. Love, like the love of a felt frog for a foam pig, which endures outbursts of violence and anger. A love that crosses natural classification. Geometry of cloaca and vagina be damned, even though viable coupling is impossible. Ooh, Simpsons.
Love, as strong as a setting stain of chocolate on slacks. A love that suffers through ineptitude and blind, stupid luck, that somehow does not accidentally kill someone, up to and including oneself. A commitment that circumnavigates sense and rationale and accepts the wheezing abhorrence of a partner's natural voice.
Love, powerful as the persuasiveness of a mother-in-law. A love with all the trappings of guilt and coercion that can look past even the overt fun's own actions. It shows perpetual concern as to whether you're eating enough, giving you a blanket and a sweater because you're cold. And love that asks, have you called your mother lately? Love, like a sizzling taco erroneously plopped in a deep fryer on the high setting, or the raw desire of a pubescent teen for a scrambled cable television channel in the 80s, late night suffering through minutes of pseudo-psychedelic distortion, unerring, so as to see one glorious boob, or was that an aerial view of a water tower? Love, that overlooks sarcasm, even to the point of insanity, as you wriggle out of a tire stem lube, even as winter comes ever closer to enveloping you and your doomed vehicle in its cold embrace, inevitably stranded upon some back road soft shoulder, settling for the focused attention of the roadside assistance provider. Love, like the comfiest pair of overall britches that hug your manly bits like a mothered possum sack, or the love that flourishes betwixt you and your woman after drinking a jug of granddad's finest, often resulting in another young'un that might possibly even be yourn. A love so strong that it might get that fifth dentist to cave on recommending sugarless gum to his patients who chew gum. Not that it matters to me and my baby done. Love, like the facile love of all cosmo Lutherans for their religion, or one parishioner's vociferous adherence to that same. Even in the aftermath of the unrequited love of an air cannon-fired t-shirt for his wife's face. Perhaps comparable to a facetiously pious man's blasphemous action due to a sports team scheduling conflict with his religion. As the dulcet tones of In the Garden of Eden by Iron Butterfly floods the transcendent name alike.
Love, as affectionate for trees as a cookie-baking elf, or a Lorax on a mission from the deity of stealth, or a horrifying elf who ambulates when unobserved to wreak havoc or perch upon a shelf, which we do not condone for the record, or questionably sticking with a stanza that cannot find a rhyming fourth line after an overtly wonky third one. That's commitment. That's true love. Yar, love, as powerful and lure as the siren song on a fog-swaddled night, coasting out a doldrum and questioning your life decisions, as you piteously yarn for your mast to hoist her mainsail, and hope she's as bonny as she claims, as your two glass eyes prevent confirmation.
Love, like the love of a man for his favorite watering hole, or the platonicist, non-sexual love of his drinking buddies, or the inescapable draw of two hands to a mischievous boy's throat as you ponder murder, or of your two sensually assaulting sisters-in-law, driving a car designed by and for you, so as to feel just a certain way. Oh, donuts.
Like the love of a roller-skating monkey for his nicotine gum, or the adoration of childhood masters brainwashed into purchasing your visage on even the most far-flung and questionable products, while never knowing that in close quarters, the redolence of cheap booze and strippers would probably put them into a coma. Love. Love is a storied foreign land where two entities come together with the terminal intensity of a phaser blast to a registered yeoman, or a gem mint copy of Amazing Fantasy number 15 that belongs to Stan himself. It is an inexpensive, lewd, crude, self-flagellating Sisyphean task to which I say, no thank you, I will not come again. An onanistic perpetuity heightened surreptitiously as I play Shebop and Rosie and turning Japanese on the jukebox of life. Dispensing libations to my fuckly brethren, these corpulent gas bags and sweaty producers that ring around the collar, who even at their worst have someone to snuggle. Love. I love you like walking broke on a star-speckled night, knowing that the most valuable and vulnerable things were binding us together, inseparable, bearing witness to a future without conception of your absence, knowing that nothing quantifiable could ever be more precious to me, the giving of everything, even though it isn't enough, yet doing so all the same. Love. A love like an inextinguishable mean for advocating an absent you. Thank you.
For some of you, this look may bring back memories. Obviously them. But I wanted to bring you back to a magical time, 2006. When I still had hair, it was maybe 50 pounds better, and 50s-year-old jeans was still a little bit nicer. So, this is called lowercase x, uppercase x, lowercase x, underscore 420, underscore 69, underscore, lowercase x, uppercase x, lowercase x, nice. Saturday night, 2006, and here I am, looking at pics, hoping to use my cunning on a profile that will have the scene girls come running. But I know the best bait is who's in your top 8. So with my coffee pot brewing, on this question I am stewing, will it be full of friends or bands the latest trend? But then which ones will show how deep this scene rolls? What about post-hardcore? Will that be a bore? MCR or AFI? Which is more likely to make someone cry? If I pick the right song, then maybe they will go along and I can be seen by my scene queen. Well, my profile is great. I perfected my top 8, so I will now sign off. Lowercase x, uppercase x, lowercase x, underscore, rar. Underscore, lowercase x, uppercase x, lowercase x.
I'm about to read the worst deep poetry you've ever heard in your life. Okay. This one's called X's, followed by O's. Rachel. Whoa, Rachel. Thought she was an angel. That was the wrong label. She left me high and dry. All I could do was cry. Leave. Whoa, leave. He stung like a bee, right below my left knee. He made me falter, not worthy of the altar. Moon. Whoa, moon. Thought she was a boon, turned out to be a loon. She tried to cut me. I ran like a tree. Gabby. Whoa, Gabby. Left my body to sag. Brain started to lag. It was unhealthy. Then I met Shelly. Shelly. Whoa, Shelly. She causes tingles in my belly, turns my heart to apple jelly. With her I built a nest. You know how goes the rest.
So it's really important that you guys have a little bit of context before I start this poem. So, I was born in 1989, which is the same year Taylor Swift was born in. Then by the time I was 4, I could write sentences, scribbles, etc. And then when I was 8, I was forced to write a poem for Mother's Day to my mom, but I was very unhappy about this because poetry was stupid, so I didn't write poems until I was 12. And then I had to write a poem, I think it was about the state of Ohio. Actually, I still have this poem somewhere, but anyway, so I wrote a poem about Ohio. Where were we? Okay, so and then I went to college. And I was the only person in my senior year poetry class who was not a creative writing major. It was very exciting. I was also the only person who didn't get an A in that class. Okay, so then I started doing poetry slams in Rockford, and it was a great time. And that all culminated in me being here tonight. So, but that was all really important, okay? So thank you.
So that wasn't the poem then? That was
No.
That felt
Okay,
super
brilliant.
Listen, that felt super unnecessary, I'm not gonna lie to you. We did not need to know any of that. At all.
I promise. Hold on.
I don't.
You're not gonna get it. You know, you're not
I
gonna
think
get it.
you should have just tried us first.
Dylan Garcia, go ahead.
Okay.
No pressure. Don't be
Guys,
nervous.
it's gonna be, come on. Okay, so, I was gonna read a different poem, but then I heard Jenna like rhyming poems, right?
Have you started?
No, wait, hold on.
How about like freestyling?
Guys, I'm trying to make the experience.
But I love writing rhyming poems. What are you gonna do now?
You'll never make all of us happy. No pressure.
Roses are red. I forgot how to rhyme. This poem is over. I'm really sorry for wasting all those moments that you just spent listening to me talk. Thank you.
In these divisive times that we live in, I think it's important for us to find something that we can all agree on. So this poem is called Common Ground. For a poem to be a poem, it has to rhyme. That's why I'm on this campus, with this table and this sign. It says, all poetry must rhyme, and then beneath a thin straight line it reads, change my mind. If a poem doesn't rhyme, it doesn't count. I think we can agree. Taking a bunch of branching sentences doesn't make a poetry. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but it's nice to find something we all can agree is true. All poetry must rhyme. It's like saying grass is green or the sky is blue. In these divisive times, it's healing to have the understanding. Poems must rhyme. It's one of life's certainties, like death, taxes, and they faked the moon landing. When I hear a poet rhyme, it makes my heart throb, because I know that I see eye to eye with them that 9/11 was an inside job. Just as sure as chemtrails fly over this 2,000-year-old flat Earth, we all know that JFK was murdered by aliens to cover up a secret Freemason cabal that dictates everything the mainstream media says, and poems must rhyme to have any worth. When I see people argue on the internet and at each other's throat, it's comforting to know that we agree all poems must rhyme. And the government is run by a secret sect of satanic pedophiles who gather in the dark corners of the center of the earth to perform 6 sexual acts with the mole people, and when you accidentally walk in on them, you're like, ooh, sorry, they're like, actually, can you stay a little longer? It helps us finish. And you're like, this is disgusting, and then they're going at it, and at it, and at it, until it's like the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, and you're covered in this disgusting slime. And we can all agree on that, and that all poems must rhyme. Some of you are looking at me like you don't think poems should rhyme. They should. We all know that it's true. It's like saying roses are red and violets are blue. It's like saying oranges are orange. Oh shit. Orange. Orange. Here somewhere. Shit. Shit. I'm drawing a blank. Oh shit. There's no rhyme for orange. Maybe this was never a poem in the first place. Could I have been wrong about all that other stuff too? How could it be true? Nope, it rhymed again. This was all true. Everything, I was right about everything. Thank you.
So when I think about bad poetry, I was thinking about this for a while, and I think of 2 things. A splendid way to fail is in form. And so I feel that some of the best and the worst poetry is made or broken by a form. If you write in form, you're often going to fail. So I was looking for a perfect form to fail. and I chose the ode. So that's the first thing I think about when I think about bad poetry. The second thing I think about is AI, artificial intelligence. I think about AI a lot, not only in relation to poetry, but bad poetry does bring to mind AI. So I have written a bad poem, a bad ode, about artificial intelligence. Ode to the ode in the age of AI. I pause now to praise you and your form, O ode, simple yet ever difficult to solve. You hold a new Turing test in your vessel so old. As inventions that master our language evolve and attempt to approach your steadfast strophe, your subtlety eludes them and their efforts dissolve. Yes, they unspool 4,096 tokens of prose, rhymes in meter and form, hinting poetic, and yes, they pontificate eloquently about what they know. But all human-based text compressed with aesthetic, though seeming to stride through any prompt that is sent, may at first seem prophetic, but you prove it synthetic. Round the glow of its specter, we gather, content, but AI shines without heat, while a poet strikes flint.
This is called Ode to Noon. I call upon the ancient muses to help me speak these verses, for when words are spoken aloud for the sake of performance, where they have rhythm, pitch, timbre, and volume, these are the properties of good poetry. Listen, listen to my tale of King Noon, hated by man and gods above, given no home of his own, he wanders aimless evermore, loathed from my rock to Sawai, feared from the northern skies to southern seas, kicked from the other world and shunned from the gates of paradise. Noon was once a great king, king over the kingdom of Lamont, beloved husband to Hamond, praised father of his kin, his fall from grace immortal made in this poem. His kingdom once rich with coin and grain, now lies in ruin and rain. Following the fall of the great one, he fell the way they all do in the end, head filled with hubris and heart filled with shame. Thus his fall for those who do not see the prophecy. The gods look down on the man who thinks he can be like them. The fool's folly is the fool's fall. A mere child came before the great king, asking only for a bite of bread. Deny the child, Noon decided. And this was the beginning of the end. For he was then confronted by the god of harvest. The god that had given so much to Noon, this outrage would not stand. Noon begged and begged for the god's forgiveness, but it would not be granted. He had already sealed his fate. There would be no changing the god's hate. The crops withered in the field, animals died in the dirt, women could no longer carry to term. Famine, pestilence, and war skipped across the land. They knew Noon had to go. The advisors roosted him from his royal throne and sent him to kingdoms unknown. Noon screamed to the heavens above and the hells below, swearing at the gods for the curse upon his brow. The gods, hearing these, vowed to make him learn. Each sent down a curse of their own. The gods' best dish is revenge. Some made him deaf and others blind. He lost taste and touch. Some made him bleed or spew pus from gaping holes. Marks were placed upon him which told others of his curse and not to take him in. They broke his back and buckled his knees, but still he would not yield, cursing the gods with his dying breath. But yet the god of death would not take his soul. Noon too suffers along this mortal coil, more wrath than a man, haunted by the denial from so long ago. He cries in anguish, lingers in howling wind, never allowed to rest again. Oh, what cruel nature for the gods to be so petty. How could they still be worshipped after this? Their insecure natures giving such hateful vengeance. Can Noon ever seek penance, or simply forever be doomed? Thank you very much.
I wrote this on the toilet in about 20 seconds of thought. It is called stage fright. Presentation. It fills me with exasperation. This feeling in my chest, then fail unless I can make you laugh or smile. What was the next line? Oh, so stay a while. And worry not that every line will rhyme. Well, except that one. And that one. Oh, and that one too. Oh, please don't boo. But now I've lost my place. How can I keep pace when other writers are greater? They could probably wrestle a gator. I'm not a Florida man. I couldn't stand that kind of heat. Shit, that was supposed to rhyme. Could you spare a dime? Because we writers are often starving. It's rather alarming to get up here and talk. I kind of consider that we try to balk. Then before I go on and stutter, I should be like butter and slide away. So goodbye for today. But remember to be as always bright as an orange, and I was so close!
You might be asking why I'm wearing a catsuit.
No.
Good, because I'd be asking why
None
I'm
of us
wearing
even
a
care.
This poem is called Wear a Cheshire Cat Onesie. It will make sense. Upon this stage, in this hallowed hall, I stand before you with a poem to enthrall. No words before nor after will paint these walls so bright, for I alone command with linguistic light. Do you hear it? The echoes of errant rhymes and chaotic beats, splattered verses that mar these walls. My fellow bards know not the destruction they cause. But I, your lexicon connoisseur, am here, your knight of wordplay, your maestro of the spoken word. Fear not, dear audience, my rhymes will banish these vagabonds out. So journey with me through this beat and feel the story in your feet. See how this rhyme can carry you on as my pointless inflection turns poem into song. My antics, my aimless gestures are quite grand, distracting you from a poem that may be otherwise bland. And we've come to the point where I must show something that connects us, makes our bonds grow. Underarm sweat, yes, an unwelcomed guest. My choice of attire, perhaps not the best. Yet even through this relatable struggle, I shall endure and set aside the trouble. Now, another moment to incite emotion, one that will drive hearts to motion. Look around and see waxed floors, smooth painted walls, and felt drapery, and know for a fact that you truly know the sensation your tongue upon these objects bestow. Yes, that's right. Everything in this room has a texture and a mouthfeel that you can assume. And I do really want you to think about that for 1 minute. Just put your tongue, just imagine it. You can feel it. Just so you know. Have these other poets painted words so grand, or perplexed your mind with synesthetic command? No, I argue not, I don't think so. Not with these rhymes, beats, and this flow. My time has come, my words will cease, but ponder this as you return to peace. This poem is not for a contest, nor praise to beseech. I only recite it as my acceptance speech.
For your consideration, a poem in haiku format. Wait a minute. That's not right. Okay, there it is. For your consideration, a quick little poem in haiku format. Haikus are concise. Here, the title is longer than the short poem.
This is a poem called Hal. I don't think anyone else has ever written a poem called Hal, and I think it's very good. I hope it gives you something to think about and something to feel, especially you, Barbara. Oh, Hal, forsooth, forsake, forskin. Oh, art and verse and steely reserve, we begin. Oh, lambent sky of blue and orange besots the window blind and door hinge. They said it couldn't be done, I did it. Eat that bag of eggs, Kevin Haas. That's what our world looked like to mine eyes, purblind nightmare visions of dark did prophesy, with flaming ennui and stifled desire. Something really, really, really important for sure was about to transpire. With efficacious celerity I weave and do commence a grand verse bout love. Let us in the suspense. Incoherent dawn stabs the invidious night to internment. A spooky grave with epitaph. Drag in today. Yesterday's full spent. And you, somnolent with sleepy sleep still in thine eyes, voluble, saying nothing, yet sententious as you rise, to spend the day with thee, a heart once again rebuffed, rejected, though you owe me, you tell me to get stuffed. I lone saunter the veil with incommodious pantaloons that bind and wedge and fall with no belt to festoon. My proximity to thee, my hunger ne'er suffice. I like your visage, your soul, and your really huge eyes. Fine, I say. I wouldn't go out with you anyway.
As everyone knows, the oxymoron is the most great literary concept to explain. So I wrote a poem about it. It's called Rockford Famous. 18 inches. 18 inches. Oh, sock monkey. Beloved mascot of our screwed city, how do I love thee? Let me count the way. I love thee at Uncle Nick's 3 a.m., holding your hair back as you make room for Lava Hot pizza puffs. Now tell me you've been signed to play catcher for the Rockford Peaches. Rockford, so real, so original. Is this Pollyanna shit over the counter or medicinal? Great. Rockford, hog butchered at Denny's. A failure of proposed railroads. City of shrugged shoulders. Your girlfriend has 27 pages of Google results, and all you got is a Rockford mugshot. I am with you in this madhouse called Rockford, David Pederson. We can't escape, and all the inmates are wearing Mr. Mustache t-shirts and watching reruns of Uncle Don's Terror Theater. Rockford, where misery loves the company of Scotty B. Riding Gank to Pluto and telling road girls he's got a boat. Rockford, we're dealing with a huge inferiority complex. Rockford, my love for you is a claw-footed bathtub filled with beef stew and waiting for you to take a bite. Rockford, your artsy Michigas, got even Roberto Duran saying no mas. Rockford, symbol of, good enough. Rockford, where it's pimps up, goes down. And everyone on Rockford Scanner is going to get shot if they go downtown. Rockford, I have seen the best minds of my generation dive into a dumpster at Mary's place because someone told them there was a full order of perfectly good beef and cheddar fries. In the end, I must conclude, we're all Rockford famous. After all, who the hell else would be crazy enough to claim us?
Kevin Haas, step forward, please. I don't know why I'm covering my eyes. Thomas Vaultonburg, step forward, please. Dylan Garcia, step forward, please. The judges' first prize for Worst Poet of 2023 is officially awarded to Thomas Vaultonburg. Come on over.
I like these poets here. I love what we're doing in this community with the written word right now. It's never felt like this. I've been doing this 30 years, organizing events, participating in events. We've never been able to get this kind of, what do you say, unity among the writing community, and I love it. I love being part of it.
I'm going to say a name, and you're going to boo, okay? Don't get your feelings hurt. We all know what we signed up for. Kevin Haas. The worst. Dylan Garcia. Do I have to spell it out for you? Dylan Garcia is the audience troll.